Hi, everybody. Jeff Lifson. Where's my location? It's on the backstretch of Churchill Downs, and I am in the shed row of Dallas Stewart's barn. We're maybe about 20 yards away from the racetrack where we just saw Corona de Oro gallop. So he was late in the card for us this morning as far as the trainees go. We're going to walk this morning through the barn, talk a little bit about the three horses that we have here, and get with Dallas Stewart to get his insight on how these horses are progressing. So without any further ado, I'm going to actually turn the camera the opposite direction so we can see horses and not my mug. We'll do that right now. And there we go. We're looking down the shed row. Milton, you are my victim here. Do you see down the shed row and a horse coming to you?
I should have charged more for this.
I know.
Yes, I do.
All right, fair enough. You can go back to slumber mode, basically. Coming to us, actually, and I hadn't planned it this way, is Corona de Oro. He's just finishing up his gallop. He finished up his gallop, and he just got a little bit of a bath. And we'll talk a bit more about him. He's done a couple of days of galloping thus far after coming to us from the Maryland Fasig-Tipton 2-year-old in training sale. Nice, big, strong colt. And this particular dude, as I said, 2 days of galloping thus far. What I've learned from Emerson Chavez, who's been on him, is that he was very quick to change leads. He was also really an impressive horse just on the gallop and how he moves thus far. Standing to my left here is Michael Bennett with one of the stars of our show in the Dallas Stewart Barn, and she's not too terribly impressed with us. She's heading down maybe for a little more alfalfa or food right now. Is Winning Matters. We did discuss a little bit on the last weekly update that we've slowed down just a little bit with her. She's still under tack every single day, but we're slowing down just because she's going through a growth cycle. And so she'll be back galloping and breezing, I would suspect, in June. But for the time being, we are training her every day, but also knowing that her body is changing. And I would say her caboose in particular is something that is getting stronger and bigger, and that's always a good thing. I'm going to move down the shed row here. And the one thing that we're doing today that's news to everybody is that we sent Roman Rogue, and I'll briefly show his stall. He's not here because he's with Wes Sutter, a veterinarian up in Shelby County, who's doing some evaluative work with him today. We just can't quite seem to get him 100% happy. He's a little stiff behind, and we'll talk to Dallas a bit more on that front. And we wanted to, make no mistake with him. So we sent him up to Wes Sutter to get some diagnostics done with Roman Rogue. And we should know probably sometime tomorrow what's going on with him. And we'll get more from Dallas as we talk to him. Again, here's Winning Matters. She's doing great, growing, going through the growth cycle. And the colt that you just saw walking past, that is Corona de Oro, our colt by Bolt de Oro that we bought at the Fasig-Tipton, Maryland sale just a little while ago. And sitting here with the Brain Trust is our trainer, Dallas Stewart.
Good morning.
We rehearsed that pretty well, and now we're in good shape. He's here, and he's ready to chat with us about all three of these horses. First and foremost, we sent Roman Rogue over to Wes Sutter, really one of the better veterinarians, aside from Dr. Frazee, who's right here.
Here, what that cost me?
Oh, just a hundo. So what I wanted to ask you is, this horse, Roman Rogue, we've watched him have good days and have days where he's a little bit more stiff, warming up. Is that the reason why you sent him over to West, just kind of get a final kind of word from him?
Yeah, we're just having a hard time getting to the bottom of it. It's just kind of an ailing effect. Like he would be good for 2 or 3 days and then come out just not 100% in the back left leg. Actually went to the gates one day. He was a little funny in the gates. Maybe he tweaked something up high. We're not sure. So before we press on, I want a definitive answer.
And Wes will do a nuclear scan on him, and then we'll have results within the next couple of days.
Sure. Yeah, he'll do that. And then by tomorrow we should have it, but it's just the hind end that he'll do it. So we're going to check it out and get to the bottom of it.
Everything else has been okay. No heat, no,
There's nothing to X-ray. I don't see anything. Maybe we'll see. Maybe it'll be a tibia or something, but I doubt it. I don't know.
we'll find out. Let's talk about winning matters. She's kind of going through a growth cycle and needed to kind of slow down a little bit. But are you happy with her overall?
Yeah, she just kind of got over the top on us a little bit. We breezed her once, took her to the gate. She bounced out of there like a bandit and, just kind of got kind of anxious. So we just dialed it back, backed up. Now we're just treating her in the barn, just riding her, jogging her in the barn. Next week, we'll get out back to the track and we'll just start all over. But she can run. I mean, she can run, but we want her to be able to relax and breathe and do it the right way. It's a long road, what we're doing.
Tell me something. The majority of babies, 2-year-olds, typically have these kind of move forward, move back kind of in your long history of training horses.
Yeah, I mean, very few of them just click it right off and make it to the races without any hiccups. That's why you see a lot of first-time starters in the fall, first-time starters when they're 3-year-olds. So if they have little hiccups, you have to back up, redo it, get them healthy, get their mind right, and then progress on. So with her, I think we're going to be fine with this go around. She's doing very well. She's more settled in the stall. She's eating good. She's put on some weight, which we needed some weight on her. So it's all good.
Tell me something. You think she's got some talent thus far?
Yeah, that's why we bought her. I mean, she worked great at the sale. She just flew down there. So she can run, but we got to teach her how to, manage her ability.
I'm going to let anybody who is on the call right now. I know Milton is on the call, and I think we had one other person on the call. If they wanted to ask a question to Dallas before we moved on to actually, let's talk a bit about Corona d'Oro, and then we'll open it up for questions. He's come here and really hasn't taken any backward steps yet. He's galloped a couple of days. What's been your first impression of him?
Well, we saw him at the sale. First of all, we loved him, and he just hit us in the right way. So we didn't get to see him breeze, and we were comfortable with his gallop. His consigner was very straightforward with us, and we just loved his presence. So we got him in here, as you said. We jogged him a couple of days, and now he's galloping and just looks like a champ, just doing everything the way we wanted. He's great in the stall. You can see he's walking around here. Big Earl's walking him. What do you think, Big Earl? Like a champion.
Like a champion.
He's just a 2-year-old, but he look. You could say he's 3 on his looks, but he's not. He's big, but he's not too big. About the right size, but he carries himself very nice.
What do you look for in these first couple of weeks when you get him out on the track the first time? I know you saw him on the track. You saw him on the shank at the sale.
Right.
What do you want to see when you see him out on the track for the first time?
Well, we just want consistent gallops. We want a great appetite. Don't lose their appetite because this is a big track. There's a lot going on here. We want to see him handle it mentally and just progress on. And then hopefully 2 weeks, we'll get a work in him if everything goes right.
I'm going to open it up to questions for Dallas. We've got a couple of people on the line. I think I saw Dan Rivers on, and I see Max Bennett's on, and also Milton Harsh. If any of you guys have a question for Dallas while we have him here, unmute yourself, announce yourself, your presence, and go ahead and ask the question.
Hey, Jeff, this is Bill Karstanjan. Can you hear me?
Yes, Bill. How are you? It's nice to have you on.
Yeah, this is really fun to have this call. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you.
Dallas, nice to see you.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't on from the very first minute, so I missed some of the background on Roman Rogue. He's going to visit the vet. Could you cover that again and what you saw with him that, or maybe Dallas can cover what he saw with him that made us need to take him to the vet?
Yes, go ahead, Dallas.
Yeah, he's kind of tweaked something in the left back leg. We don't know that it's up. We don't know if it's up high. We don't know if it's low. It hasn't been consistent. Like he's been coming out and he's been on the track almost every day and doing well, but he would have a day where it would just be okay. So before we press on, we need to know what we're dealing with. It doesn't appear to be an ankle. It doesn't appear to be a foot. It doesn't appear to be a hock. We don't know. So there's, x-rays. We just couldn't pinpoint it here. So we need a little help on figuring out what we got. So I don't want to guess what it is. I've been guessing for a couple of days, and I don't know that I know, but we need to get the right answer, and it's going to all be fine in time.
How can you tell? Is he walking gingerly, or
Yes,
what did you see?
Yeah.
Kind of stiff, right, Dallas?
Well, he would kind of put his toe, his first couple of steps when he came out of the stall, he would kind of stick his toe into the ground. It's supposed to be flat. And as he starts walking, it would get flat and he would go on and do what he's supposed to be doing. but he just kind of continuously would stick his toe in, which is abnormal. And so we need to figure that out. But I don't know that
Yeah.
it's a foot. I just don't know yet. So
So what they'll do, Bill, is they'll take it there. He's over at West Sutter, Dr. West Sutter's clinic right now. And that's where they can do a nuclear scan. And they'll look for hot spots and anything that lights up. And that's how they'll do more diagnostic work and then report back to Dallas and to us. Probably this afternoon or tomorrow. We're certainly by Monday.
Probably tomorrow. We'll know something about tomorrow.
Great, great.
That's the update on him. And Bill, you may have joined a little late and didn't see Winning Matters in the stall, but I think, did you hear Dallison talk about sort of her schedule going forward?
I did, and sounds like she's going through a bit of a growth spurt or starting to put on a little more weight. So that was fun to hear.
Yeah.
She is.
I heard Dallas say she's got talent too, which is even better to hear.
Yeah. And so does Roman Rogue. He's got a lot of talent too. They both work great at the sale and had good presence. And so we'll get them there in time. It's a start and stop situation with these babies all the time.
Can you get a sense even this early on whether you think they can run a mile and a quarter or how far they can go?
Well, if I had to pick one out of the three, I'd pick Corona.
Really? Yeah.
We'll see. He's just got that presence about him that makes you feel really, really good. So we'll see.
And Winning Matters, Bill, we only need to go a mile and an eighth. We don't have to go a mile and a quarter.
You're right. You're right.
But as with any of them, Bill, we got to win one race with him first. So
Anybody else have a question for Dallas before we kind of wrap things up here? All right, well then I'm going to do one last thing, and this might be a dangerous thing. Dallas, thank you for your time this morning. Really appreciate it.
we'll get
Thanks,
there.
Dallas.
Thank
I
you, sir.
wanted to show everybody one last, and he's coming down the shed row, so I'm going to walk gingerly so that I don't make anybody seasick here. But I'm going to walk towards Corona de Oro, who is still cooling out from his gallop this morning. He's down there at the end of the shed row. So he's the one horse coming to us. And as we've said, he's galloped a couple of days today, and one of the days up to this point. One of the things that I have found to be really, really good about him is that he changes his leads without a lot of encouragement. He does it really smoothly, and not all 2-year-olds will do that. And he's behaving himself in the barn here, which is also a nice sign, because there's a lot of wood to chop. There's a lot of work to be done between now and his first race. And we hope some of his big races as a 3-year-old. And it's easier to work with a horse that has a good mind, and he's got a good mind. So for the rest of the team here and Dallas's team, want to say thank you to everybody as Dallas finishes up his work this morning. We'll report back to everybody as soon as we hear some information about Roman Rogue. But in the meantime, as I watch Corona de Oro's Keister heading down the shed row, I want to say thank you, everybody, for joining us on this special first time live in the shed row call. And we hope to have more down the line. Thanks everybody.
Jeff. It's a great idea. Appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, guys. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, Jeff. Great stuff.